BJ Penn has now requested a public defender in his current case against his mother following these strange Instagram posts and multiple assault allegations and that. I want to cut the jokes right now. We can go back to making fun of John Jones. We can go back to making fun of Juliana Pena for being absolutely dog shit on the mic. This is serious. And this is one of the ambassadors of MMA. This is one of the guys who, if he didn't compete in this sport, I would not be here. I would not be making videos on MMA. But I'm not going to waste your time. We're going to read the article right now. And then I'm basically going to sit you through a dare assembly. You remember those assemblies in elementary that barely anybody paid attention to, and we all ended up as degenerates, anyways. I'm going to put you through one of those because I think it's really important in this space. I know a lot of people on the internet, they don't go outside, they're dealing with addiction. I had one of you comment about your problems, and yeah, this is the MMA version of Dare. So, I don't know, maybe I'll call the video that. But, yeah. BJ Penn has now requested a public defender. To sum up everything recently, the weird Instagram post, he accuses his family of being replaced with imposters. They're wearing masks. He's pointing out small details in their face, their ears, to prove that they aren't. And one of the main things is BJ Penn kept shining a flashlight into his mom's eyes. I have a full playlist on this topic, so if you want to go look back at it, there you go. This video will be in it too. So, UFC legend BJ Penn requests public defender in assault case. Now, this is a civil case. To get this out of the way, this is not Hawaii against BJ Penn. This is BJ Penn against his family. This is civil court. Just like the Conor McGregor stuff, that's civil. When it's federal, that usually carries a most likely guaranteed prison sentence. This could end in a prison sentence, but he will end up in a mental institution. I'm going to go through exactly the process because I went through it 3 times in the past 2 years, and I'm going to go into why and all that. But, hello, Hawaii News. UFC champion, UFC Hall of Famer BJ Penn was back in court in Iowa on Friday. Penn was arrested twice over Memorial Day weekend for allegedly assaulting his 79-year-old mother, Lorraine Shin. During Friday's hearing, the public defender's office told the judge that Penn previously requested free representation, but his application was not complete because he is out of his mind. I did a few classes in legal studies. I know the bare minimum about the law, but I know all about the mental institutions and stuff like this. Um, District Court Judge Darian L. Ching Nagata, who is pres- presiding over Penn's case, gave the MMA fighter further instructions for requesting a public defender. They need more information from you, more detailed Nagata. You can fill out another application and fill out with as much detail as you can. Former longtime public defender, not even gonna try and say that name, said he has never heard a public figure like BJ Penn ask for a public defender. I didn't even think about that, man. Because that basically proves he's out of money. he doesn't control his money anymore. Or he either spent it all or gave it to that piece of shit in that video recording that whole thing. Man. As long as you fall below a certain threshold, then you're considered indigent. I might have just rocked my camera. I'm sorry about that. And then they can represent you for free. Like I said, why would he go with the public defender? I'm not entirely sure. You do have the right, if you can afford it, to an attorney of your choice. Prosecutors want Penn to undergo a court ordered mental health exam. What he can do so until he has legal, he can't do so until he has a legal representation. Penn is due back in court on June 18th. So what is that now? We are at um June 7th, 11 days. That would be June 18th, Wednesday, June 18th. So basically 2 weeks from now. Now, okay, this is different, and I'm going to talk from a Alberta perspective, and this is what I'm gonna get into my whole situation. You're gonna get to know basically everything about me over the last 2 years. So, I after high school, I didn't go into college. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was always trying to make YouTube videos. I have a couple channels that I hope are buried in the deep dark pit of YouTube hell. But you know, after high school, I really fell into smoking and drinking, and throughout my years in middle school and high school, because I went to a middle school and high school, so it was grade 7 to 12. In Canada, we go to elementary from grade 1 to 6, and honestly, right from grade 7, my degeneracy started. And I want to make it clear, my parents, they lived their life, they did their things. I was a full-blown degenerate, man. I was fiending for anything that I could get, whether it be nicotine, whether it be weed, whether it be alcohol. I live in a small town in Alberta. If you've ever watched Trailer Park Boys, that is small town Alberta, basically. You grow up with, you click with 4 or 5 people, and basically your interactions are exactly what Ricky Bobby, no, not Ricky Bobby, that's a completely different show. Ricky, Joanne, and Bubbles have. Now, I don't want to make too many jokes on this. Um, but yeah, in Alberta, there's two different forms. So if you are going through addiction, you go through psychosis, and you self admit, that is a form 11 where I'm from. Basically, what that says is that you are saying legally, I have issues with addiction, I have issues with my mental health. I'm coming here willingly, and where I'm from, if you go under a Form 11, you can only stay for 30 days unless your doctor deems you need more time, and then you get a Form 12. And then if you don't sign that, they can go through another thing. I'm going to get into my problems with the whole system, but lucky for me, I have a really good doctor, and I was able to get through the stuff that I'll get into in a bit. But basically, what happened to me was after high school, I did nothing except smoke, drink, and I made a little stupid drop shipping website, which, I fell into that whole craze. looking back, I want to beat myself for that thing, but I didn't. You know, I I was not in the right space. Ended up blowing my savings, and I went to a I went to a mental institution multiple times because I'm gonna fully admit the first two times I did not want to get better. That was my parents taking me in because I was going insane. But like I went through that. I got put on a medication called Abilify, which is a very common antipsychotic now for most people. It works. I think it's worldwide. That's one of the bigger ones. But I was put on that one. Um, my second time. The first time, my doctor didn't put me on anything. I was really in and out, and then I just went right back to smoking. Right. But yeah. Anyways, I was put on Abilify, and it's clear to you guys I have a disability. I have cerebral palsy. Walt Jr., Jimmy from South Park. I don't care. Make your jokes. Make them original, though. That's all I ask. But that doesn't help with the amount that I was smoking. And like I said, for the first really 20 or 19 years of my life, any money I got, I wasted on games, booze, and other stuff. And it's what you do as a teen, right? Now, I put my videos on not kid friendly, but if you are younger, maybe you're 16, you're in middle school, manage your shit. Make sure that whatever you are doing, pass your class and whatever. But it wasn't until like it really got to my head after I was still smoking, but I was doing a lot less than I did. I was really only using cartridges, which if you smoke and you smoke cartridge, they don't get you high. It's they get you medium, really. But I was using that, and I didn't have any of my crazy hallucinations. Well, I just felt like no worse. Part of the thing that made me go into that addiction was, I had no income. I wasn't on disability yet, and I basically had a lump of cash that my mom saved me. I was trying to scheme my ways to make some of that because I worked at Five Guys for a few months, did not like it. Um, so I decided to make an MMA YouTube channel and be, a degenerate. But you know, it wasn't until I had that mentality, and MMA Guru said this on Demetrius Johnson's podcast, and once he said it, it really resonated with me, and it's exactly the mentality I have with this channel. Was that I did the stupid drop shipping thing. I stopped that. But over my whole life, I've been interested in MMA. Now, as a kid, your interest fades in and out. I was a big Brock Lesnar fan. I loved Rampage. Rampage is my favorite fighter. Like, honest to God, Rampage clips are what really made me a hardcore fan. But, I never really went out. I played a lot of games. That was mainly because I only found a few people that I really clicked with, and I'm one of those people where I like my alone time. I like having a closed niche of friends, just because you go through all the bullshit when you're younger or when you're, maybe you're in college and, oh, it's fucking this person, this person. And at the end of the day, you usually only fuck with, two or three people. So that's basically what I do. I don't really go out. Actually, every Friday I go to a bar just to say I'm social. I go to the gym usually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Obviously, with well, I don't go Friday and Saturday. Obviously, with UFC and that, I like to go out. This is basically what I do. This is the thing that quick, and my old shorts are back there. They are awful. They are awful. And the funny thing about MMA girl, I mean, I made such a shitty fucking post back when him and fucking Jesse and Fred thing. I think I deleted it. Like, looking back, now that I kind of understand what I'm doing, I still am a shitty YouTuber. But like, again, I'm figuring out OBS. I go to my computer. I'm getting ready to stream. I want to stream, and I'm starting to like find more of you in the community and that, and you know, this is something really great that we have here. Even in the current situation of UFC being utter dog shit, Dana White fucking not wanting to do his job. At the end of the day, it's a fun community to be a part of. To, have hypotheticals about what will happen in this fight, what could happen if this fight happens. Like everybody does their fight breakdowns. Watch mine. Um, it's definitely what I love about this community is that I grew up playing Call of Duty, right? I haven't played since Modern Warfare 2019. They fucking ruined Call of Duty. Just remaster Black Ops 1. Don't touch it. Release it exactly how the 360 version is and just retire it. Anyways, I'm off track. Oh, what was it? What was that? Basically, because I forgot what I was saying, is that over time, I'm figuring out how to do this thing. Over time, I built this channel that I feel like I'm going in some direction with. But like I still kind of have like that feeling of like I'm in like a community that isn't just a bunch of pussies. That isn't just a bunch of people complaining. We can have our laughs. We can make fun of Juliana Pena for being utter garbage on the mic. But at the end of the day, for somebody like BJ Penn, who was an early entry into the sport of MMA. And the guy that brought conditioning into MMA, as Hector Lombard said, what do we have for time? Fuck no, I don't want to open that. What do we have for time? Oh, very good. Very good. I can drag you on for a bit longer. If you guys are new to the sport, you came in the Connor era, you came in during the ESPN era, I feel so bad for you. I feel so bad for you. Like, if you came in during the Fox days, I miss Fox. UFC on Fox is so good. And Bellator, I miss Bellator. But, we're gonna skip all that. He started in 1998, early on. He came into the UFC in 2001. KO Julie Gilbert, KO Dean Thomas. You know, that Dean Thomas who's at every fight now, who does the little coach breakdown. Well, half the time I don't understand what exactly he's trying to say about the fight. But, you know, it's besides the point. He TKO'd him in the first round. He TKO'd KO Uno in the first round. He lost to Jens Pulver, who was the first lightweight champion, I believe. Yeah. And you gotta remember, too, lightweight back then was the smallest weight class. We didn't have flyweight, bantamweight, featherweight. But the thing with BJ Penn is this motherfucker fought at welterweight, middleweight, like heavyweight. What you see here, KO Paul Craigton, beat Matt Serra, beat GSP, beat Tanaka Gomi, submitted Matt Hughes to the belt, went over to K1. And that's the thing. Back in the day, it wasn't just you signed under the UFC, you only fight under the UFC. He went over to K1, beat Dwayne Ludwig, beat Hoist Gracie over at Rumble. He fought Lyoto Machida at heavyweight and did good in that fight. He lost by unanimous decision. He beat Renzo Gracie too. He got the title Gracie Killer, I believe. I might be wrong. He had a very close fight against George St. Pierre. The infamous George St. Pierre greased for that fight. But this is one of the things that built George St. Pierre into one of the greatest of all time. He got KO'd by Matt Hughes the fight after. Matt Hughes is a top 5 welterweight. Obviously, as the sport goes on, the fighters are only going to get better and better. But Matt Hughes is right below George St. Pierre. He defended the belt 9 times. I believe he was a 2-time champ. His record, yeah. I think he ended 45-9 or something like that. And then tragically he got hit by the train. There's a lot of stuff that happened to him. Actually, he did have some domestic things, but now they have him come around. He's all happy. Always a joy on Instagram to look at. Then he came back, submitted James Pulver for the bout, right? Submitted Joey Stevens. Beat TKO Sean Shark. Sean Shark was a right freak, but he had an incredible record until he ran into the better fighters of that generation. He lost to George St. Pierre by corner stoppage. Okay, one of them, was that the one that was the Grayson one, right? I can't remember. You guys remember. Submitted Kenny Florian. You know, you guys know him on commentary. The Diego Sanchez fight, one of the greatest fights of all time. It's in the Hall of Fame. Again, Diego Lopez, man. Or not Diego Lopez. Diego Sanchez, man. The shit that he went through recently. Well, luckily, that issue isn't solved. And fucking Josh Fabia, I hope you never fucking come back. You slimy, closeted. I really gotta work out what I see here. You can't really say those naughty words anymore, can you? Maybe I can get away with that over this, but I'm getting away from the point. Lost to Frankie Edgar, 2 really close fights, back to back. Submitted Matt Hughes, John Fitch, majority draw. And then in 2011, the Nick Diaz fight was good, but then the major losing streak happened. This is where the CTA came in. Rory McDonald, Frankie Edgar, Yair Rodriguez, Dennis Silva. Well, he got KO'd. Yeah, I hate that highlight. Not gonna talk about that. Washington and Silver Lake aside, got submitted by Ryan Hall. The almighty Ryan Hall, as Joe Rogan says. And in his last fight, he had a decent fight with Clay Guida at the end of his career. But again in 2019. He's 17. Well, no. A 19-year career. Go watch his fights on Fight Pass. Please, if you don't know who BJ Penn is, if all you know is this, the worst of BJ Penn, please go look at his fights. And the little pet talk at the end here for my fellow degenerate MMA community members. Take care of yourself. Monitor whatever you're doing. Be on top of your priorities. Do your job. You know, take care of yourself. Go to the gym. For majority of you, go touch grass. I know I'm in constant updates, but every day I go to the gym. And if, Walter Jr. over here is going to the gym 5 times a day, and you aren't, and you're just, a little pipsqueak on the internet, trashing on professional fighters like I am, go do something. Go start jujitsu. Go start kickboxing. And, you can come out of anything, man. I was losing my mind 2 years ago, and now I'm apparently the lead investigator on the BJ Penn case. But please share this video, comment down your stories. Hopefully we can get this up the chain more. Again, shout out to MMA Guru. But I want to get this to the UFC. I want to get this to every part of the community, just so that everybody is aware that this is a serious situation. This is a serious problem that all fighters will face. Do you ever wonder what Michael Chandler could be like in a few years? I'm not trying to diss Michael Chandler, but this is a topic that needs to be faced. Feel free to share your story down below. But that's all I got. I will keep you updated on this case as their lead investigator. But take it easy. Later.